Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about how to fast correctly. Fasting is something that pretty much can cure anything, any disease in your body can be cured with a fast. Now, the lengths of fasts, they can depend on the severity or the extremity of the fast also depends. You can start by fasting on liquids, even on herbal teas, things like that. You can also fast with vegetables, vegetable juices. You can fast just on water, just on lemon water, or you can fast without anything, a dry fast. The classic fast, the one that I'm talking about, a fast with just plain water. From the literature that I read, that's what's considered to be a proper fast. But any kind of a break that your body gets from having to digest food is a fast that can be more or less effective depending on how extreme it is. But any kind of fast will help your body take care of the things that it hasn't been for a long time. Why do we need to fast? Fasting is something that's really important because it helps us cure diseases in a fairly short time. Now, I don't advise going into a fast just like that, say, watching this video and saying, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna fast and doing it for a couple of days. That's not really the way you should be going about this because your body needs to be prepared. Otherwise, you're gonna have a lot of extreme negative effects and it's gonna be very difficult for you. It's gonna be difficult for you to not only to fast, but it will also put you off fasting. It'll make you think that fasting is bad, that there's something wrong with it. If you get scared or something, or you have like horrible headaches or some sort of negative reactions, and people around you who maybe are naysayers will tell you, oh, fasting is really bad, this is the proof. And because you had the bad experience and you kind of don't want to go through the physical pain again, you're gonna put it off and say, okay, you might dismiss the idea, you might not believe that fasting actually does cure things. And trust me that it does. The program that I kind of developed based on the books that I've read, it can take up to 6 months to start fasting for a few days in a row. So the only exception to that is if you are so sick, if let's say you're just morbidly obese, or you have a really serious issue and you just don't know what to do anymore. So in this case, you don't have a lot to lose, and the pain that you're having from the horrible disease, whatever it may be, is probably a lot worse than any kind of fasting pain would be. In this case, you should fast. And if you can't do a full water fast, then start with vegetable juices, start with smoothies and things like that, and then slowly wean your body into the water fast. You should listen to what I'm saying and kind of follow the steps, but you should also listen to your body and figure out what works best for you. And even if you can't do all of it, do some of it. I'm gonna start from the beginning and then I'll get to the point where I'm at and where I hope to get. Which at this point seems very likely, as I've been having almost no negative side effects. It's been fairly easy. My only kind of difficulty has been the emotional attachment of the comfort of food. Just to lead off with that, mainly food kind of breaks down your day and it's a huge emotional comfort. So our bodies, especially if you have any fat on your body, trust me, you do not need to eat that food. If you have any fat at all on your body can take care of itself for weeks. It doesn't need to eat. So there's not really any health danger. The dangers are and have to do with how you've been eating so far. So if you eat only processed food and you've been doing that for years, your body might have forgotten how to synthesize certain things and might have forgotten how to create all the vitamins and minerals and things that are necessary. Because essentially, if you look at people who practice living off of just water and using the sun as their energy source, you'll see that our gut, and this has been proven by standard science, this isn't something that's somewhere somebody made up and it just took off. This is scientific discoveries that haven't been popularized because there aren't any interested bodies in having people heal quickly and feel good. So the first thing that you want to be doing when you start fasting is basically changing your diet. So as I said, your body needs to, or may need to, relearn some things about certain minerals, certain enzymes, certain vitamins. I did a video on eating 90% vegan. Basically, that's what you should do. You should switch to a 90% vegan diet. Be as healthy as you can be. You don't have to be fully vegan, but really you want to be including a variety of vegetables and fruits, and you should be eating them in their raw form. And even if you're cooking, it should be at a very low heat. You shouldn't be frying anything. That's really the best thing. If you have to include some animal products, it's okay to include things like pure honey. You can eat ghee, you can eat yogurts, but again, nothing processed. Buy as organic as you can, as clean as you can. Even say organ meats can be useful, and really fresh fish. Buy it as organic and as fresh as you can get it. And again, organic, I don't mean that it has the label, but that you can see that it's fresh, that you can see that it doesn't look distorted with GMOs and things like that, that it looks like it's in its natural form. So that's my advice to you. You have to do this for the first 3 to 4 months for your body to kind of adapt to this diet. And if you're already on that diet, you can probably skip this step. The next thing you want to be doing is for another 2-3 months, you want to start fasting. And if you have the time, you can also do this for 3 to 4 months. But that's not really necessary. You just want to kind of get your body used to going without food for at least 1 day. You want to go at least 24 hours without eating anything and just drinking water. It's best to do it that way, but if you're having trouble starting, you can start with a liquid diet once a week, then go on to like a juiced diet, vegetable juice. Don't drink high sugars. That'll give you headaches, and really it'll be very difficult for you for the first months. You can do smoothies, juices, and herbal teas and things like that, and wean yourself into doing a 3-day fast. Just make sure that you do feel strong enough, and if you're having really strong negative effects, again, just stop. You can try again in a few days or in next week, depending on what you're ready. The next step that I'm on now is basically going 3 days on, 3 days off. So 3 days of just water fasting, which is 72 hours in total. You can make it exactly 72 hours and kind of get out of the diet right after, or you can sleep one night and then wake up and eat in the morning. You should be doing this for the next little while. I'm doing 54 days basically, so and I've divided that into weeks. So I start on, say, a Tuesday and I finish on a Thursday. It's important to make sure that when you're getting out, even if it is a 1-day fast, you should be going out of the fasting mode in a very smooth way, which means you should be eating either a fresh salad that'll help you clean the toxins that have been accumulating out very quickly. It can also be, vegetable smoothie. It can even be a small oatmeal, any fresh fruit or fresh vegetables, but that's about it. Anything else I wouldn't advise as a first meal after fasting. This is especially important when you're doing the 3-day fast, because within the first 2 days everything will be processed in your gut and it'll come out. So then your body starts to use its own fat and things like that for energy. First it'll go into keto and then it'll kind of adjust. So far I haven't had any really terrible symptoms at all, so I've been able to do it pretty easily, but I did do a week of liquid diet where I just drank smoothies, and I even had miso soup, but it was basically just the liquid of the miso. Then last week I did the 3 days of just water and sparkling water, which was fairly easy. I was surprised at how easy it was in terms of not actually feeling any physical hunger. The only time I would get tempted would be when I would smell food, but it wasn't because I was hungry. It was just that it connects to my pleasure centers, and those pleasure centers, I crave that pleasure basically. But any physical signs of, you know, my stomach feeling like it needs to eat, like that wasn't there. But I have to say the results were amazing. For the first time, I realized that there was an old injury that I have on my wrist. For the first time, I could stand on a bridge. I do yoga every day. I've been correcting this issue with my wrist for years now, and I haven't been able to stand on a bridge since probably my childhood. Well, at least for a long time I didn't even try. So for the first time I could stand on the bridge, because I'm guessing because my body was able to fix some of the issues that are there. Number two, all my issues with leaky gut and bloating that I'm still experiencing even after 3 months of vegan diet, they went away. They went away until I started eating unhealthy, as I wanted to test out what will bring it back. So they were brought back with things that I tried that were unhealthy, just like meats and alcohol. I also felt that my body was really I was a little bit more tired overall, and I usually, as your body heals, you'll tend to have a lot of muscle pain, and I have that almost always, but at this point it was stronger. Kind of like this internal buzzing and burning of your muscles feeling. It was stronger. Nothing super uncomfortable, but I definitely felt it. And on day 3, I could hear a lot of things cracking. As I got out of bed, I kind of thought, oh my gosh, am I an old lady? So that's something that I never feel after getting out of bed. I could definitely tell that my body was fixing a lot of issues. So this has actually inspired me to go further and to continue on and to know that I am on the right path. Now, one piece of advice: if you really can't handle it, or if you need to kind of stop the fast, it's advised by, I believe it's Bates, who says that you should just have a little bit of lemon water or lemon honey water that will give you some liquid that'll cleanse you, and it'll give you the energy that you need to feel. Now, the main issue that I felt with not eating for the 3 days, the emotional aspect, which I didn't realize. You know, I knew that we're all addicted to food, and that it's not something that we necessarily always need, but we definitely need it on a psychological level. And that really I wasn't expecting. I really kind of missed the feeling of happiness that food gave me. I felt that the day was so long and so empty. Now that I'm doing this again, I don't feel that way as much anymore, because I know what to expect, and I know that I'm excited about other things. I'm excited about doing yoga in the morning. I'm excited about learning a language. I'm excited about, you know, doing this video. But before that, the first thing I would think about would be food, or even a tea I'd be having later on in the day, and that would bring me the joy. Since that was gone, I kind of was like, well, what do I even like? And I mean, I do know what I like. It's just that switching my brain like that, it took me a minute. Now, the next and the last thing that I hope to get to after these 54 days, and I might extend the period to a little bit longer. We'll just see how I feel and how easy it is for me to come in and out of the fast. I want to extend it to 10 days, and that should give me a pretty good lengths of time to heal, and it's not so long that it just feels so incredibly impossible. That should fix most of the issues. And again, this is something that you prep for over months and months. So basically this process should be done once a year. It is possible to go, say, a month without eating, without actually hurting your health. Of course, that can be done, since, you know, there are people who are living on no food at all, but that requires a very strong minded person and a very strong belief, a lot of faith in God and the higher being, and belief in kind of all the good positive things that we human beings possess, such as, you know, kindness, honesty, you know, basically every virtue out there. So when I'm actually about to finish the fast, so I might have some other news for you or some other tip, and I'll do a follow-up once I do the 10 days. I want to tell you guys about it also, since that'll be a new experience for me too. I haven't done it yet, and now I see that now that I'm doing the 3 days, and I see that it's not that difficult, that it's not so bad in terms of the physical aspects and even the emotional aspects. I know that you can do it too. So let me know if you have any questions, if you have something to tell me about the fast or anything at all. Write in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.